A Vanguard report says Nigeria ranks number 2 on paternity fraud, and that is very, very crazy. Here again, it's a meanwhile, according to available data, at least 4 out of 10 men are not the biological fathers of their children. That is crazy. So who do we blame here? Do we blame the men for being nonchalant, for underrating women, or do we blame the women for surprising us? It's actually a very interesting topic. I'm going to read out a whole lot of things that I have gathered around. The whole topic of paternity fraud has been trending. Giving the child of father to another and claiming that's the father is crazy. But let's understand. So one expert noted that currently the situation in Nigeria is quite high, and the majority of firstborns that are affected. According to the American Association of Blood Banks globally, a third of all men are not the actual fathers of their presumed children. When it comes to medical issues like, donating blood, a whole lot of scandals start unveiling, and the very fabric that holds family starts to tear. Nigeria is a very religious country. We are highly traditional as well. We hold respect in the highest regard. Our women are supposedly chaste. Our men are supposedly wise. Why is paternity for DNA causing a whole lot of uproar? Why is it concerning? In the Vanguard newspaper article I read, where they said Nigeria ranks number 2 in paternity fraud, it's a 2021 report. It is long. It is laborious to read, actually. But guys, I think you guys should read it up. Just maybe if you Google paternity fraud, I'm sure that article by Vanguard newspaper will come out, and you're going to see a whole lot of unexpected things, actually. And I want to say one thing for men. You see, men tend to infantilize women. When I mean infantilize, men tend to think women are children. Women are full-blown adults. And some men will say things like a man cheats more. This is not a competition. This is not an attack. This is just cheating is a human thing. It is basically human. I don't see any gender that cheats more. I just feel like women have been trying to tell you guys all along. They've been trying to tell you guys for a very long time that you guys should not overrate them, underrate them. Don't overlook them. They are capable. But I also think the reason why this paternity fraud is a thing is because patriarchy, that is male supremacy, has caused men to be so nonchalant. You get a point where they do not observe. A whole lot of men claim if you ask your wife, if men held women more accountable, just the way women held them accountable, I'm sure a lot of this paternity fraud would not be an issue. But a whole lot of men don't want to ask questions. They just want to let things slide. And it gets to this point. For example, in some of the articles I read, this man had 3 kids. None of them were his. And he had been training them for almost 20 years. That's according to the Vanguard article I read. And it's very sad. For example, he said, and another thing is, the practice of establishing paternity in Nigeria seems to be very abstract. Because paternity is acknowledged or established by, for example, number 1, you have presuming, assuming, and by testing, actually. But you see, the first two, assumption and presumption, are very dangerous. Yes, a whole lot of people will say, you don't need to, doubt your wife and everything. But when a country ranks number 2, I heard Jamaica ranked number 1 according to this report in 2021. Jamaican women ranked number 1 in paternity fraud, and number 2 is Nigeria. And you have this kind of concern. I'm not saying you should doubt your wife. I'm not saying you should doubt whatever. But it raises a serious question, and only science can answer it. A DNA test. Simply. And I don't think you guys should gaslight the men. Don't try to gaslight the men and be like, hey, why would you ask for DNA test if you trust your wife? I even think if you really, really want your husband to trust you, I think that's more reason why you should actually, I even think you should submit the DNA test yourself. Submit the DNA report. See here now, they said, although there are rare cases actually where the woman has not cheated or done any form of adultery or any, dirty play here and there. Sometimes they are baby swapping. For example, according to that same report by Vanguard, it said a Zambian nurse confessed that she swapped 5,000 babies in the 12 years she's worked in the hospital. And she just swapped them for fun. That's crazy. So, I also know this is also something. I know this is also something that can also lay the embers or the heat of DNA controversy. I know that sometimes babies are swapped. But guys, I believe and I'm very certain that this is a very windy evening, so you may be hearing a whole lot of wind. Now, I want to believe that most of the DNA issue and controversy are more or less founded on unfaithfulness. You get the point? These women were probably in relationships before, or they were cheating, or whatever it is actually. And it also raises the question of fertility. That's why I say men need to pay more attention. Most of these men are not fertile. They are probably sterile, maybe from past injury or lifestyle or diet or something tragic happened to them, but you don't know. They are not fertile, but they move on, and some of these women prey on that ignorance. Do you get it? So it begs the question: men are not as smart as they think they are. See, pay attention to details. It will not hurt. I think men have also been fooled and tricked into believing that paying attention to detail is not masculine. Being attentive is not masculine. See, you either spend so much money training the child for 20 years and getting heartbroken, or you spend that little amount of money for paternity tests. It won't hurt. Actually, it won't hurt. So, let me read out more of the things I saw online. They said, it is often said that a woman is in the best position to identify the father of a child. So once a woman fingers a particular man, case closed. That tradition should be cut short immediately. Immediately, guys. I believe that everyone should begin asking serious questions. A whole lot of us might remember the scandal involving one popular broadcaster, a very popular broadcaster. I also think he runs a very big podcast. And he got married to this woman, and the woman actually gave him another man's child. He got married, the woman was pregnant, he married her, assuming or presuming that that child is his. That issue was so worrisome. Until date, it still lays the claim that men should stop assuming. And you see, women can, unfaithful women, you see, I won't say just generally. I think women women have learned to be very detailed. You see, they might not be very physical in nature. You get my point? They are not physical, they are not confrontational, so they have to learn other ways. Adultery for them might lay more consequences. Did you get the point? So it means they have to be very sneaky with their cheating. Men should not think they are the big cheats. Every human can cheat. Everyone is capable. There is no angel. Everyone who wants to cheat will cheat, actually. So guys, let me know what you guys think in the comment section about this paternity fraud. I'm blaming men because I believe that men can do better in removing the veil off their faces, thinking they are one superior being up there. Nah. Don't underrate anybody. In fact, most of the biggest wars that have been conquered and that have been won were won by women, because women are subtle. They are not confrontational. They are often underrated, and that can be dangerous if you just want to lose guard. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section about paternity fraud and what you think can be done. I don't want to just lay blame to the men. You may say I want to attack the men. Yeah. I'm not attacking the men. I'm just teaching men to hold women accountable too. Thank you very much.